When attention pulls away, many of us chase. We overtext, overexplain, and overschedule in a scramble to pull someone back in. In North American life, that might look like rewriting a message 3 times in the grocery line, checking read receipts between a commuter train stop and your apartment, or rearranging a jammed Google Calendar to make something work with someone who's replying slower by the hour. The result is predictable: your days warp around someone else's pace, your sleep gets lighter, and your confidence shrinks to the size of a status bubble. Chasing feels like action, but it's really surrender, surrendering your time, your focus, and your standards. Today's lesson offers a clean alternative: stop chasing and apply the Stoic detachment rule. You'll learn a calm, non-needy response script you can use whenever attention dips. You'll run a simple 72-hour detachment protocol that pulls you out of reactive mode, and you'll install a measurable confidence reset so your day fills with forward motion whether or not anyone texts back. The goal isn't to win a person, it's to win your schedule, your decisions, and your self-respect. Before we go further, a clear note: educational content inspired by classical Stoic texts. Not medical, psychological, or legal advice. Detachment in the Stoic sense isn't coldness, it's clarity about control. As Marcus writes in Meditations 5.20, guard your mind and your actions. In relationships, that means you control your bids, invitations, replies, availability, your standards, how many times you repeat a bid, and your attention, where your day actually goes. You do not control another person's interest level, their response speed, or their competing priorities. When you chase, you burn energy outside your control. When you detach, you allocate energy inside your control and let outcomes reveal themselves. Think of everyday scenes. In a Slack thread at work, someone leaves your collaboration proposal hanging. You could ping 3 more times, or you could log the bid once, give a clean follow-up at a set time, then move on to the next item on your sprint board. In dating logistics, you could stack messages after midnight, or you could send one clear invite with a time and place, then put your phone face down and prep your Wednesday lifting session. The difference isn't personality, it's process. The process is what we'll wire in today. Use a 72-hour detachment window whenever attention pulls away. For 3 days, stop all pursuit, send only clean, necessary replies, and return your energy to controllable actions. It matters because reactive bids fuel anxiety loops while consistent pacing reveals genuine interest without confrontation. Why it works: autonomic arousal calms with time and structure. A fixed detachment window interrupts rumination and prevents intermittent reinforcement, the jackpot effect that keeps you refreshing. It also lets the other person's real patterns surface, so you respond to data rather than surges of hope or irritation. One script: no worries, let's touch base later. I'll be off my phone handling some things this week. Short, non-accusatory, and it quietly sets an expectation: you'll be less available while you live your life. 1NA example: you're in Chicago, midweek. You invited someone to a Saturday coffee near Lincoln Park, and by Thursday night their replies thin to emojis. The old habit is to laba? Still good, and a second I can Uber to you and then to check flights of fancy while reheating leftovers. Instead, you set a simple rule in notes: detachment window, Thursday 8 p.m. Sunday 8 p.m. You send the script: put the phone on do not disturb from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m., and fill Friday with your normal lifts and a standing breakfast with your neighbor who also trains early. Saturday morning, you go anyway to the coffee shop you picked because you wanted the stroll and the time to outline a project pitch. If they confirm, great; if they don't, your day was good already. On Sunday night, the window ends. You review: did they re-engage with a clear plan? Did they stay vague? The decision to continue, pause, or decline now rests on behavior, not mood. One tiny action: start a 72-hour timer the next time you feel that anxious tug. Write the start and end time in your calendar with the title Detachment Window. During that period, reply only to logistics, no new invitations, no nudging questions. Replace outcome chasing with process anchoring. Build a daily skeleton as sleep, training, deep work, errands that runs whether or not someone texts, and post your social invitations as optional add-ons, not centerpieces. It matters because structure collapses uncertainty into known actions, and a full day is harder to hijack. Why it works: the brain hates empty slots, it fills them with speculation. process anchors recurring actions set at consistent times, reduce decision fatigue, and create momentum. When your base day is predictable, your self-worth decouples from someone else's clock. One script: I'm around these windows. If it fits, great; if not, I'll catch you next time. That signals a life in motion and removes the "I'll bend into any shape" subtext. One NA example: in Vancouver, your mornings are your best focus hours. You decide that 7 to 9 a.m. is deep work, laptop closed to messages, 12:15 p.m. is a 30-minute walk regardless of weather, 5 p.m. is a lift. You send one invite for a Thursday evening gallery, but you don't reserve your whole night. On the day, the reply is late and uncertain. You go to the gallery on your own, meet a friend there for 20 minutes, and head home by 9:30 to prepare Friday's presentation. Friday morning, you're not resentful because you didn't donate your sleep or your work blocks to an open-ended wait. Your schedule kept your value visible to you. One tiny action: draft a one-day anchor template in your calendar, titles only sleep window, deep work block, movement, household admin, social/leisure. Copy it to the next 5 weekdays. Let invites sit on top of that template rather than replace it. Use the one clean bid rule: make one respectful invitation with a specific time and place, then don't chase. It matters because clarity is respectful, and repetition without reciprocity lowers both parties' respect. Why it works: specificity forces decision. A single bid prevents you from teaching the other person that your time is a buffet. It also sharpens your radar. Genuine interest meets clarity with clarity. One script: I'm going to, place, on, day, at, time. You're welcome to join; if not, no worries. This is not a test, it's a clean bid that doesn't ask the other person to manage your feelings. One NA example: you're in Austin. There's a new taco spot on South Lamar. On Tuesday, you send the script for Saturday noon. They respond Thursday, maybe. You don't pivot to 5 alternate times. You don't ask for reassurance. Saturday arrives, you go, you eat, you read a chapter, and you walk the greenbelt. If they text at 12:40, sorry, running late, you can answer simply, all good. I just wrapped. Another time. You didn't punish, but you also didn't sacrifice your plan or your standard. One tiny action: draft your next bid with the exact place and time. Send it once. If you don't get a decisive yes by the day prior, keep your plan and go as if you were going anyway. Diversify attention across 3 domains: health, work/study, and relationships, so no single thread can control your mood. It matters because concentration risk in relationships magnifies minor changes into major swings. Why it works: portfolio logic applies to attention. When your day holds multiple sources of progress, any one wobble is buffered by gains elsewhere. Consistency across domains builds identity that isn't hostage to a chat thread. One script: I've got a full few days with workouts and a deadline, let's sync when our schedules line up. It names your other domains without apology. One NA example: in Toronto, you notice that a quiet Friday text spiral ruins your Saturday. So you build a 3-domain slate for weekends: a long run by the lakeshore, health, an hour of professional certification study, work/study, and one social plan that you'd enjoy solo, relationships. When someone's interest dips on Friday night, you still run, you still study, and you still hit the Kensington coffee shop at 11. You're not posturing as busy, you're busy because you're living a full week. By Sunday night, your mood reflects your actions, not someone else's sporadic pings. One tiny action: create a simple weekly tracker with 3 rows: health, work/study, relationships, and 7 columns. Check one small action in each row daily for the next 7 days. Read signals, not stories. Decide based on observable behavior, response times, clarity of plans, reciprocity rather than narratives about why. It matters because explanations soothe in the moment but keep you stuck. Why it works: behavior predicts behavior. The more you invest in stories, the more sunk cost bias increases; the more you track signals, the cleaner your yes/no decisions become. As Epictetus notes in the Enchiridion section 5, focus on what you can choose, your interpretation and response. One script: I like straightforward plans. If next week works, just name a day and time. It signals the standard without accusation. One NA example: you're in Denver, balancing a client deliverable and a ski day. Person A replies within a day, sets a time, and shows up. Person B sends poetic, late-night walls of text without one workable plan. Old you write a story for B busy season, big heart, they're trying. New you simply reads, A is clear, B is vague. You allocate your dinner slot to A this week. You don't confront or diagnose B, you just respond to the signal. If B later sends a specific invite, great, you can reassess with fresh data. One tiny action: for the next 2 interactions, write down the signals only, time to reply, who proposed a plan, whether a plan included day/time/place. Make your decision based on that list, not your internal narrative. Install digital boundaries, mute threads that spike anxiety, batch your replies, and remove non-essential read receipts. It matters because unfiltered alerts turn your nervous system into a marionette. Why it works: every ping reopens the loop. Batching delays reinforcement, lowering compulsive checking. Muting creates a physical buffer so you can complete tasks. Removing read receipts stops you from managing other people's expectations moment to moment. One script: heads up, I batch my messages. If you need something time sensitive, call. It's practical, not performative. One NA example: in New York, you're on the subway to a meeting. Your phone buzzes 6 times in 2 minutes, you can feel your focus shatter. You mute the thread for 8 hours, finish your meeting, and then sit on a park bench to reply in one calm block. Later, you turn off read receipts for your default texting app. The person who cares about you will learn your pattern, the person who wants instant responses will adjust or opt out. You've designed your digital environment so your best work can happen. One tiny action: choose one high-anxiety thread and mute it for 24 hours. Add 2 15-minute reply blocks to your calendar, one midday, one evening, and answer everything inside those windows only. Run a confidence reset in 7 minutes, breathe, move, and choose one competence action. It matters because confidence is not a feeling you wait for, it's the residue of repeated control over small tasks. Why it works: a short physiological reset drops arousal, a burst of movement raises energy, one competence action closes a loop. Together, they change your state faster than reassurance seeking. One script: I'm stepping away for a bit, catch you later. You send it when you notice yourself hovering near the phone, and then you actually step away. One NA example: in Minneapolis, you just saw a vague rain check after you prep dinner. Your chest tightens. You put the phone down, set a 3-minute box breath timer, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, do 20 air squats in your living room, and then do one competence action you'd been avoiding: submitting a benefits form, or polishing a paragraph of a graduate application. 7 minutes later, your body and brain are aligned enough to make a cleaner choice: you can reschedule once or you can choose not to. Either way, you're choosing from steadiness. One tiny action: save a note titled 7-minute reset with 3 lines, breath 3 o'clock, move 2 o'clock, competence 2 o'clock, name task. Use it the next time your stomach drops over a message. It's a rainy Sunday in Seattle. Ben, 32, product manager, has been seeing Lena for 5 weeks. The first 3 weeks felt easy: quick yes, easy lunches, 2 spontaneous nighttime bookstore runs. Then, a week ago, the tempo slipped: a day of silence, a crazy week text, a soft let's see when he asked about Saturday. Old Ben would have chased, he's done it before. He'd rewrite a message between laundry cycles, ride the bus an extra stop just to keep texting, and then feel wrung out when Saturday evaporated into nothing. This time he decides to run the protocol. Thursday 7:30 p.m., he senses the tug: Lena's last reply is 2 words. He opens notes and writes detachment window, Thursday 7:30, Sunday 7:30. He sends one line: no worries, let's touch base later. I'll be off my phone handling some things this week. He mutes the thread for 24 hours, sets 2 batch windows, and turns to his anchor template on the fridge: sleep from 11 to 7, deep work 7:30 to 9:30, and lift at 5. He texts his brother to confirm their Saturday hike. He moves his own gallery visit to Sunday afternoon. He goes to bed without the usual last check because read receipts are off, the magnet of uncertainty is weaker. Friday, work pops. His morning is solid: he ships a spec with 2 clear design options. At noon he walks, not refreshing. In the afternoon batch window, he sees a message from Lena, "This week got away from me. Maybe next?" He reads signals, not stories. No time, no place, no next step. He doesn't punish, he doesn't debate. He replies in pattern, "All good. I'm around these windows next week. If it fits, great, if not, I'll catch you next time." He closes the app and finishes the day. Saturday, the hike is wet and perfect. He's present on the trail, not composing speeches in his head. Back home, he runs his 7-minute confidence reset before he opens messages, breath, push-ups, and one competence action, submitting his travel reimbursement. In the evening, a different match messages with a clear plan for a coffee on Wednesday. He says yes because it's specific and it fits his anchor day. Sunday at 3, he goes to the gallery he wanted to see anyway. He's in the line for espresso when Lena messages, "Could do tonight?" He checks his anchor. He has dinner prep and an early Monday. He also reads the signal, "Same day, late," after 2 vague deferrals. He decides to keep his standard. He replies kindly, "Tonight's tight for me. If you want to plan something specific next week, name a day and time." She replies, "Got it." No drama. He eats, stretches, journals 2 lines about the weekend, and sets his 3-domain slate for the new week. The outcome is quiet, no fireworks, no slammed doors, just his life, intact. Maybe Lena proposes a clear plan later, maybe not. Either way, Ben's days are no longer a waiting room. The turning point wasn't clever wording, it was the decision to shift energy from chasing to choosing. The core lesson is simple: stop chasing and use detachment to place your effort where it counts, your bids, your standards, and your attention. When interest dips, don't fill the gap with frantic messaging or self-minimizing offers. Set a 72-hour window, keep living your anchored day, and let behavior teach you what to do next. This isn't icy aloofness, it's warm clarity. As Seneca reminds in the letters to Lucilius, value your time, it's the only non-renewable asset. In relationships, valuing your time shows up as clean invitations, patient observation, and a schedule that's good with or without a ping. Crisp recap in prose. In Chapter 2 you learned the 72-hour detachment window to stop spirals. In Chapter 3 you built anchor days so your calendar isn't a waiting room. In Chapter 4 you practiced the one clean bid that invites clarity. In Chapter 5 you diversified attention across health, work/study, and relationships to avoid concentration risk. In Chapter 6 you read signals instead of stories so choices track data. In Chapter 7 you installed digital boundaries, muting and batching, to lower arousal. In Chapter 8 you ran a 7-minute confidence reset to change state on command. In Chapter 9 you watched those pieces work together in a Seattle weekend. And here, in Chapter 10, you're picking 3 moves to do today so the rule lives in your week. 3 do today steps. First, set one 72-hour detachment window for any thread that's pulling you into refresh loops. Write start and end times in your calendar and reply only to logistics until it ends. Second, draft tomorrow's anchor day with 5 blocks: sleep, deep work, movement, admin, social/leisure, and commit to running it as written regardless of texts. Third, send one clean bid for a plan you would enjoy solo, specific place and time. Once, if it's a yes, great, if not, you still go. Watch next: communication patterns that build secure pacing, how to escalate with clarity, decline with kindness, and keep your day intact while interest grows at a healthy speed.